Hi everyone, it's Heather again and Yontov to you all. Right, I just want to get straight to it and tell you that I did mean to make some notes how I was going to go forward with this video. Please excuse the sunlight draping through the window. There's not really a great deal I can do about that at the moment, but hey, it's sunshine and it's, February, and, if we're going to get some sunshine, that's a really good thing. So, I welcome it. I'm sorry if it's not great for the light, but, I welcome the sunshine. My friends had said to me, make some notes about what you want to talk about in a video so you don't forget. And I'm terrible. I'll get to the end of the video and I will forget what I've meant to have said to you. So I did make some notes. I went to go back and look for my notepad and I can't find it. And I don't know where it is. I've looked everywhere. And all I can do is wait until hubby comes home from work and find out if he's moved it. Because when he moves my stuff, I can never find it. I don't know if you've got partners like that who move your things. The places that I have found some of my makeup, if I've put makeup to one side and then I'll go to look on the table and it's gone, and I found it next to his Blu-rays and what have you. Oh, I can't begin to even tell you. So the video for today is going to be a sort of a real hodgepodge of just about everything. Try and see if I can get a bit over here, a little bit in the chair, so I'm not exactly right in the way of the sunshine, and make that a bit better for you. Right, so is that a bit better? I think it is. So today's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge of things that I want to talk to you about. And one of them is, I've been away from social media for a couple of days because of my back. And I've come, back to it and sort of logged onto Twitter and what have you, and found out that Jeffree Star's mystery boxes have yet again upset an awful lot of people. Highlighters have turned up smashed to smithereens. People are getting the same sort of stuff as they got in the Black Friday sale. Things like that. Things that have really, knocked people. And, again, Jeffree isn't going to listen to a word I say. But I do want to say this. You know something, Jeffree? I know you get end of sale things, and I know there's going to be stock that you can't shift. But you can't keep sending out the same stuff to your buyers every single time. They're not stupid, And, I do get concerned about what happens in America. I've been reading the most awful stories about people going for weeks and weeks with no wages, and people are going through some very hard times, and they're saving up to buy your stuff. And, it's either not getting there on time, or they're still waiting for it, or when their box does turn up, it's very disappointing because things are broken, or it's the same stuff they bought from you before that they can't use again. And you said that you'd listened to your buyers the first time, but have you really? Because I've been looking at some unboxings and it seems to me you haven't really listened at all. And that's a real shame because, your buyers, you're in the business. Your buyers are the most important people in the world. And you should be listening to them. And instead of, when people complain, instead of blocking them, there is absolutely no harm in saying, I'm listening. I hear you. There's nothing wrong in that, Jeffree. Don't just block people because, it's a bit immature. If someone's got something to say to you, don't just automatically block them. If you get to a point, if someone's being downright rude and effing and blinding at you, and if you think you're not going to get through to them, then by all means block them or mute them or whatever it is that you want to do. But when somebody says, look, Jeffree, I'm getting the same stuff as I did before. These are my savings I'm sending to you. You should be listening to those people. And you should be apologising instead of just blocking folk. That's not right. Now, I know you're not going to listen to the likes of me, but there are other people just like me. I mean, I did say from the last time I wasn't going to buy from you again. And that still stands as true. But my friends are sending you money and getting shoddy service. And I expect a heck of a lot more from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Or do you just not care anymore? Is this something that you need to ask yourself? Or are you just out to squeeze as much money as you can from people? I don't know quite what's going on in your head these days. And I did say you were problematic, but now I'm beginning to understand you less and less. And I don't quite know what game you're playing or what is it you're doing. But it seems to me that the only people that you will listen to are those who are willing to crawl up your backside. And no doubt you will block me, if you know that this video is about, which I doubt, because I'm so small, I'm such a speck, nobody would notice me. But on behalf of all those who cannot be heard by you or will not be heard by you, I'm going to say this. Jeffree, up your game. These are your buyers. These are your lifeblood. These are the people who got you to where you are today. Be grateful. Be humble. Say that you're sorry. Do better. Don't let your buyers down. These are not just willing yes men. They are taking their savings, what money they've got spare, because they support you, and this is the kind of service they get. Now, I'm not saying every single buyer. I know there will be some out there who are very happy, and that's great. But what about the ones who aren't happy? Those are the ones you really should be looking after. So would you please just listen to that, if nothing else? Look after the ones who are unhappy. The happy ones will understand. The unhappy ones won't. So please, look after the ones who are unhappy. And that's all I've got to say about that. The other thing I noticed, and I must admit it did make me laugh a bit, was seeing that, Love 'Em or Loathe 'Em, Peter Monn has collabed with Rich, and then he's gone on to collab with, of all people, Thomas Halbert. Thomas Halbert? I was like, what? I mean, I know that Peter and Rich are friends, but I didn't know that he was friendly with Thomas Halbert. Did any of you know this? I must be just so out the loop. Maybe it's because half the time I don't care. I mean, particularly when it comes to Thomas Halbert, because I really don't give two hoots about him. Him and his talking toupee. I mean, 1 minute he says, because I read all these tweets from him. I know he's the king of tweet and delete, but, I remember him tweeting that his hair had been cut too short, so he had to have a toupee on because he was going for a shoot. Then the next thing I heard is that he had to have a toupee on because his hair was affected by his eating disorder. And I wasn't quite sure which was which, or maybe it was a collab of the two. I don't know. But, like you say, Thomas tweets these things, and then the next minute, that you blink, and then they're gone. And then you're left thinking, did I dream that? or whatever, I must, whatever. That's the way it makes me feel. I can't even get my words together, but that's how it makes me feel when people do this, when they tweet and then they delete, and then I go back and I'll say to a friend, oh, I've just seen that so-and-so said such and such, and they'll go back and say, well, where is it? And I'll say, well, it was there. No, it's not, it's gone. And it does leave you going, what? So I don't get that. I don't delete my stuff. My stuff stays there because I say things and I say them for a reason, as we all do. So anyway, I hope these collabs help Peter, because he did not get himself into a mess last year, didn't he? And all the advice that he gave to the likes of Mammy and Laura and Gabriel and Nikita, all the advice. And then it turned out that he had the dirtiest lot to clean up himself. And he has said, if he's the biggest hypocrite on YouTube, then that's exactly what he is. He said that himself. I haven't said that, he said that. I hope things turn around for him. Everybody, like I said in my last video, everybody deserves a second chance. And I do hope things turn around for him. Wish him all the best. I'm not going to resub to him or anything like that. I used to be. I was never part of the wolf pack, but I was sub to him, and I used to find him highly entertaining. I loved all his videos. But when it came out that he was as bad, if not worse, than the others, that shook me a lot. Because I'm one of those people, I do tend to get invested in other people, and I did get a bit invested in Peter. Now I'm not. I tend to watch now. And, I'm like that with folk these days. I invest a lot of time in my friendships. And those that know me and who accept me, my good friends, they know who they are. I've spoken about them before. But the ones who decide to distance themselves, I've decided it's best just to watch now and think, well, why have you distanced yourself? And if you can't come and tell me why you've distanced yourself, then, there's nothing much I can do about that. Friendships are funny things, aren't they? You honestly think you've got someone in your life for life, and then life takes a funny turn, and then, they're not there anymore, or I've found out that someone's got feet of clay when I had them on a pedestal. And it's my own fault for putting people on pedestals. I don't put many people on pedestals, I have to say. I had Peter Monn on a pedestal, funny enough. But more fool me for being as fooled as I was, I'll definitely say with him, it's a case of fool me once, shame on you. But if I resub to him and he does the same trick again, then it's fool me twice, shame on me for going back a second time. So that's why I say I'm watching more now than anything else. But human beings are funny creatures, and we all do weird things. And what's flavour of the month 1 minute won't be flavour of the month the next. And you've got to take the highs with the lows. And we're going to do that no matter what's happening in life, whether it's in your work life, whether it's in your personal life. There are highs and there are lows. And we've got to be mentally and emotionally strong enough to deal with the highs and the lows. And, people come to me and they want to know, just about the answers to life, the universe, and everything. And all I can say is the same thing I say every time. Look, everything happens for a reason. And it's funny, if hindsight were foresight, would all be psychic, right? So when something happens to you, just think, this is happening to me for a reason. And in a week or maybe a month's time or even a year's time, the reason as to why something went for me or went against me was because of such and such and so and so. And then everything becomes very, very clear to you. Yes, here I go again. So that's how I tend to take things now. Everything happens for a reason. Another highlight that it's come back to my mind now. Another highlight that I wanted to share with you was the fact that the I am L and L is me scenario has finally been put to bed. That was sort of funny and a bit upsetting at the time, but my friend Rox, you've heard me talk about her before, she hosted a live stream where myself and Elle took part. We both had to sing Humpty Dumpty at the same time to prove to people once and for all that we are not the same person. And it was quite funny because my singing voice is atrocious, but I got through it. Elle's singing voice is beautiful, by the way. Great singing voice there, Elle. And, you know, thank you, Rox. Huge thank you to Rox and my friend Joe for supporting us through that, plus all our other friends. Thank you very much to all of you and to everyone who came to the live stream, because now that silly person who is still telling people that we are one and the same person hasn't got a leg to stand on, because the proof is out there. So, you know, I know it's nothing in the scheme of things, but what a relief to get that over and done with, because it stopped being silly and started getting aggravating and bordering on harassment. And it got really bad. So when Rox decided to host that live stream, it was one of the most wonderful, it was the epitome of friendship for me doing that, to help get over this stupid problem, which in the scheme of things was nothing. But when it's really bothering you day after day and you've got the same thing, you know, is it you, is it her, who am I speaking to, blah, blah, blah. And it starts to weigh you down. But I'm so happy to say it's all over and done with, and that's gone. Now, I did say there was somebody that I wanted to shout out every week. Whether I've shouted Rox out before or not, do you know something? Here I go. I can't remember. So here I go again. My friend, who is now going by the name of Meta Mafioso Rox. Roxana to our friends, the Empress of YouTube. She is a wonderful friend to me. She posts some fantastic videos. She has live streams through the week. It's at 4 p.m, I think, Eastern Standard Time. So please pop along and join our live streams and listen to what she has to say. It's always entertaining. There's always a laugh to be had. Some great discussions going on. So she's another one that you should, join in with. That's what I wanted to say. So the other thing that I wanted to say was, and this is a little bit sad, and I don't like ending on sad things, but My friend Lorraine isn't well. I did talk her about the last time. They found another mass in her groin. So could I please ask for your prayers? She's got to go in next week for surgery to remove this mass. It's, I think she said it was 4.4 centimetres, sort of square, I think. So I don't know how big that is. Might be maybe about that big, maybe. Is that about right? I think it's a lump about that big. But they're going to remove that. I don't know what's planned for after that, whether it's radiotherapy, more chemotherapy. I don't know. But I would be very, very grateful for your prayers for my friend Lorraine. And on that happy note, I wish you a very, very happy rest of your day, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.